Hello everyone, welcome to another episode of the Happy Wheels Advanced Tutorial series, and today we are going to take a look at the black hole glitch. We can use this glitch to teleport our character to the top left of the screen, and this is very helpful for when you want to make an outro for your level, an outro screen. Just a good way to end your level. So right here we are in a level I've made a while ago for YouTuber Matt Shea. So if you make it all the way through the parkour, going to the right first, then to the left, up, right, and then finally all the way up here, if we cross the finish line, we will get this nice outro screen. So, how does this work? Well, it's actually quite simple. You place down a block, like this one, and as you can see, it is a, I can actually place down another one if you want me to, it is a interactive non-fixed shape, so you can place that down, and then what you can see here is that the density is set to NaN. So that means that there's no density. I don't really know what that says for the object, but it pretty much means that it has no mass, so it's instantly gone, and for some reason if you hit it, you'll instantly teleport to the top left. Another tricky thing is that if I make this thing visible, so right now I've made it blue, and I run into it, you can see it in the outro screen. So you can see it on the left there, that's the shape, it actually teleported with me. So I don't really know what the reason is that this works so well, but I do know that you can make some quite cool outro screens with it. So today I'm going to give you a brief tutorial about how you can put this in place, how you can make it work effectively, and also how you can design a proper outro screen. So what we're going to do is we're going to open up a new level, and what I'm just going to do is we're going to pretend that there's a whole level, while there isn't, of course. So let's place down a finish line, and we're going to place down a little road for our character to go on to the finish line. Now the first thing you probably need to make sure is that your character doesn't teleport to the top left right before he hits the finish line. I made that mistake with my previous level, and what's going to happen in that case is that you don't get the level finish. The way you get your shape to be a black hole is you go to the density, you enter a dot, and you press enter. That's all you have to do. So again, just to make sure that you guys get it, you go to density, select everything, backspace, dot, enter. There we go. Alright, so I placed it a little bit before the finish line, and I'm not able to hit the finish line. Like, whatever I try, it's not going to work. It's just, as you can see, it even deleted my kit and my bike before it deleted me. It's a really weird glitch. So what you want to try is to place it down somewhere over the finish line, so that your character does hit the level finish, then he keeps rolling a bit, and then he teleports. That's probably the best way to do it. If you want to make sure that your character hits the finish line, you can place a block above it, so that it's pretty much impossible to fly over the black hole. Or even like, make some kind of border around it, like so, you know? So there's no way that your character is going to like somehow fly over it. It's probably not going to work in this case because people are going to aim for the finish line, but you never know. Okay, so now that we've placed down our black hole, our next step is going to be setting the opacity to 0. And I'll show you why. As I just said, you can see the block in the top there. And what we want to do is make that invisible. And the block is gone. So what can we see in our outro screen now? We can see the background, but we can also see the bicycle on the top left. You can leave that there if you want to, but in my opinion it doesn't look too good. So what we're going to do is we're going to cover it up. And secondly, if you want to know what the dimensions are for your outro screen, I think, on the top of my head, and I'm not sure, but I think it's 900 by 500. I think these are the dimensions for your outro screen, so let's give that a test. To test this, I'm going to make this shape just a little bit smaller and see if we can see the borders, see if it's good enough. Alright, so as you can see, you can just see the borders right there. So what we're going to do now is change that back, and if we jump in there now, the whole screen is covered up. So the dimensions for an outro screen are 900 and 500. Alright, so you've done the setup for your outro screen. Your next question might be, so how are we going to fill this in? Well, the first thing to realize is that if you actually make it into a real level, let's save this real quick. What you might be able to see is that if you finish a level, you're automatically going to have this pop up. So you're going to have victory and you're going to have the menu of the level. So I think that the best spots for your art to be are left of this and right of this. Now you can press tab to get rid of the menu here, but you can't get rid of the victory sign. So keep in mind that anything interesting is going to be overlooked there. So here's a rough estimation for you guys, but the red area is where people are not allowed to see your art at all, and the orange area is where people can choose for themselves if they want to see your art by pressing tab. So, as I said, these and these are the best spots to make your art in. Alright, now let's check out some outro screens that I've made before. Let's have a look at them, see what's good about them, what's bad about them, how we can improve, and then I'll teach you how you can make your own outro screen. Alright, so I'm just going to show you guys a little cutscene from one of my levels called The Haunted House. As you can see, we're talking to a skeleton here. And the reason I'm showing you this cutscene is because you can get a good idea about how this level is from this cutscene. The purposes of this level is kind of to be a bit funny, so we have a few characters in here. And it's good to know about these characters, because when you go to the outro screen, you can actually see some references. It's a good way to make your outro screen. Let's have a look. Because as you can see right here, this is my outro. Thanks for playing. Please leave a rating. youtube.com/distressful. As you can see right here, there's not too many art here as well. And then on the side we have the closet. On the left here we have the skeleton. And then my stress ball hidden. Now this is a very good outro screen because it is made in 3D, so it draws a lot of attention to itself. People are going to be surprised that you're so good at outro screens, so they're going to have a look at whatever you put there. So that's a good way to make an outro screen. What we're going to do is we're going to take our canvas right here, we're going to paste it somewhere else, and we're going to use this as the outlines of our art. Now let's go ahead and draw the forest. And I think what we want to do is have that 3D effect to draw attention. So what you're going to do first is put a dot right in the middle, because the middle is probably where you want all your art to go to. Also, it helps to have a vague background color, because we don't want to be distracted when drawing. It doesn't have to be specifically in the middle, just roughly in the middle. Okay, so we're making a level about a forest, so I'd suggest you to make something like a path going into the distance. This is where your horizon is roughly at. You can make straight lines by clicking, pressing enter. So just letting you know. Anyway, so we're gonna start from the bottom here and draw towards the circle, and then maybe move a bit out of the way there, a bit over here, and then go all the way back to the other corner, and then we have a path. So this is 3D enough for me. Actually, if you want to have it very far, you can move these a bit more to the middle. The path seems smaller. Okay, the next thing we're going to do is add another line, like so. And then finally, this line. Let's add two more lines, a bit under the middle. And these two lines are the guidelines for me drawing the trees. So right now we can start drawing some trees like this. So we have a tree here. I don't know, I'm just quickly drawing something for you guys to get the idea. Hope that works. So we have our first tree there, and then the second tree is gonna be a bit smaller. And then maybe the third tree is just a copy of the first one, but really small. Like this. You can also reverse it. I don't think that really matters. And then as soon as you go further, you're gonna start drawing really small, maybe a bit larger, and then finally we're gonna add the smallest tree. There we go. Can't even go any smaller. Now the next thing we're gonna do is add the leaves. So let's go ahead and do that. Make sure you don't go outside of your outro screen. That's not going to look very good. Sorry if you guys don't like the art. I'm just keeping it very, very basic just to show you how to draw in 3D. Especially with this guiding lines, you can make it very easy for yourself. So what I'm basically doing with these lines is telling myself where the perspective is. So the perspective for the trees is between these lines, because they're in a straight line. The perspective for the road is between those lines. The perspective for the other trees is between these lines. And what we can actually do is go ahead and copy all of them. paste them on the other side. Maybe change up some things. Alright, so now that we're done drawing our trees, you can go ahead and delete the lines. And the way you can do that is just select the area that your lines are in. Then move around stuff a little bit, press Ctrl Z, make sure to delete everything from your selection that isn't the lines by holding Shift and clicking. We can drag around a little bit more, and then finally delete. We can delete the circle. We can set a background for our art. Of course we need some grass, so what I'm going to do is start from the corner here, go a bit here, make a nice curve up, go to the middle, drop down, and then finally back there. And then we're going to move everything behind there. Alright, let's add my YouTube channel on the top. youtube.com/thestressball. Now remember, you can make the art as complicated as you want. You can make custom text. You can add more detail. You can add some shadows to the trees. I've already done some tutorials on how to add shadow, how to make better art. But essentially, I think the most important part, if you really want to stand out with your outro screen, is getting in some 3D effects. I think 3D works really well. So all you have to remember for 3D in an outro screen is just place your point of perspective, and then if you're gonna draw a row of things, so let's just say I'm gonna draw a row of birds and I want them to fly like around here. What I'm gonna do is draw 2 lines to the perspective point. You can also do 1 and then press enter, and then all I have to do is add in my birds. Now I think birds aren't something you're usually going to use in this way, but it's just for the sake of giving you another example. I don't know, be creative, come up with some cool ideas, try to work it out with using my 3D perspective trick, and I hope that works for you. So let's finally round it off by grouping everything, setting it to foreground. We can remove this one now and then place it in the top corner. So just imagine a whole forest level here. We're gonna drive into here, and finally, thanks for playing my forest level. Thanks for watching, hope you liked this tutorial. If it helped, then please subscribe to my channel, leave a like, and I'll see you next time. Bye!